opportunity I have on the show here because really, Alan, you are the first guest that I've had who's really a contemporary of my father here, my dad. You guys, Dad's about a year and a half older, I think. He beat you by a year and a half.
The second oldest person.
The second oldest in the building.
Yeah, okay.
But this is exciting for me because, I'll be honest, you know, I lie awake at night wondering why Alan Zweibel isn't my father.
Let me think about that.
I could give you a good reason.
Yeah.
But think about it. I mean, you guys are both baby boomers, both children of the 50s, Jewish families growing up in the suburbs of New York City. You know, very similar in a lot of ways. Yet, the paths diverged at some point. Very disappointing to me. I mean, I could have been a contender. I could have been one of Alan Zweibel's
You must feel really lousy right now. Yeah.
After everything I did for him.
Oh my God.
Well, I want to figure out, I have the both here, I want to figure out really where it all went wrong for me. You know, my dad could have been pals with Larry David and Gary Shandling, and, you know, instead he's, well,
Well, you know something?
Look at him. Look at him.
In fairness to him,
Yeah.
I'm going to stick up for you now. Okay.
Thank you.
In fairness to your dad, I must say that originally it wasn't even my idea to become a comedy writer.
Yeah.
That this was a decision that was made for me about 35 years ago by every law school in the United States. Okay. So I sort of like backed into it. They all sat down, they saw my law board scores, and they go, no, this is silly. So
That's where we went wrong. That law school said yes to me.
yeah, here's the point of divergence.
That's it.
Okay, had I been a little bit smarter, I would have been sitting on that part.
Yeah, it would have been reversed there. I want to find out how similar you guys were. Were you both into sports as kids?
Yes.
Yeah? What was,
Baseball, football.
Baseball, football, basketball.
there you go.
Basketball, that's the one without the ice, right? Yeah, I like that too.
Yeah. Who were your favorite players growing up?
Mickey Mantle, Willie Mays.
Mickey Mantle, Willie Mays. I even took Scott to meet Mickey Mantle, Willie Mays, and Duke Snyder, right? You met all three one day.
That's right.
Yeah.
3 outfielders.
Got his autograph.
1993, yeah,
Right.
that was big.
That
Okay,
was
so the Yankees, baseball, you guys are into that. Summer camp, did you go to summer camp, Alan?
No, all my friends stayed home.
Yeah?
Yeah. I wrote to the ones that weren't at home though.
Oh, yeah.
I spent my summer writing letters to other kids who were by lakes.
See, you had that writing experience.
That's where I started, right?
That's where it started.
I went to camp and liked it. Scott went to camp and did not like it.
That's right. This isn't about me right now. We're trying to figure out this situation. What about you know, comedians growing up? I imagine comedy was a big influence on you as a
Oh yeah, I
child.
used to go to the Catskill Mountains with my parents and watch those comedians.
Alan King.
Alan King, Toady Fields, you know, Jerry Lewis and Dean Martin. Yeah, they all played up in the Catskill Mountains. And I ended up writing for some of those guys for $7.
Right. And Dad, you went to the Catskills?
I went to Grossinger's.
Grossinger's?
But
But you weren't writing for the comedians?
No, Jonathan Winters. You know, they're funny people back then.
All right, so somewhat similar there. Yeah. And then what happened? You get to college. Where did that go wrong? Fraternities? Were you guys in fraternities?
No, I went during the war years in college from 68 to 72. It was during the Revolutionary War years.
Yeah.
Protesting Vietnam. So I was a hippie. I was a Long Island Jewish hippie, which meant we bombed, we striked, and then we would call off the protest so we could fly home for Yom Kippur. It was a really...
See, I wasn't that funny. I went into the fraternities, but we did march in Washington. Did my march. We all protested Dow Chemical, but then I joined a fraternity and went straight.
You went straight joining the fraternity?
Well, more conservative. He's like, I wasn't the revolutionary.
That's the thing. That was the Johnny Unitas kid of the 60s. He had a crew cut, right? Were you he wasn't a long hair.
Crew cut? Yeah, I guess so. Just play sports, fraternities, you know.
Yeah.
Did my thing on campus. Sports editor, the school newspaper, you know.
Well,
But did march in Washington. I thought someday I'll tell my children I marched against the war in Vietnam. So
Well, I was going to march on Washington, but got really stoned and couldn't find Washington. Ended up in Boston somehow. Just the other way.
I think that is, that,
See, I
I
think
think
there's
to
a
me,
divergence,
that's
yeah.
it. Because, Dad, have you ever smoked to join your life?
No.
No. This is my dad, the lawyer. Woodstock. What's your Woodstock story, Dad?
Drove right by with my girlfriend. Had no idea what was going on.
Wait, let me
Driving
get
up the
this straight.
Bigger to New York, and what are all these cars doing on Route 17? Drove right by.
You drove by 400,000 naked people and you didn't say, what's that? You just kept going?
I couldn't see that they were naked. I just saw the cars. I just kept driving.
It was traffic to death. It was just traffic.
Scott likes that story.
Hey, can you believe that, Alan?
I wish I could get further away.